Hi there, this is my review of my Lovol 754 75 horsepower tractor. Didn't see many on YouTube. Well, there's lots on YouTube, but just not many in English. So I figured I'd do a quick one. Excuse the quality. I'm doing this on a $150 Motorola phone, so it is what it is. So I bought this tractor for one simple reason. It was cheap. $50,000 Canadian. Out the door. And I definitely can't afford a John Deere. That's close. Kubota. That's close. Mind you, my close is like an hour away. And of course, Massey Ferguson, which is an hour and a half away. So in this horsepower range, this is what I could get. And sorry guys, but horsepower does matter. I don't care what anybody says. I am not a tractor expert. I've driven everything though, from John Deere's, New Hollands, Kubotas, everything from 24 horsepower up to 95 horsepower, give or take. But I've only really owned one other tractor, 1988 60 horsepower Massey Ferguson. It's actually not a bad machine. Everybody's going to say, oh my God, Chinese. Yeah, I actually did a good job on this, from what I can tell so far anyhow. Now, I only have 20 hours on it. Again, not a tractor expert. Tractor Tim, Tractor Mike, a bunch of other guys are probably a lot more experienced than I am, but take it for what it is. Came with actually decent tires, actual real tractor tires, tractor weights. I never loaded the tires. Not sure if I should have or not. We'll see. If I have to, I will. Now this for a Canadian tractor, Canadian purchase tractor, has a Doosan engine out of South Korea, which means it doesn't fit that great, so getting at some of these filters is going to be sheer fun. Has front remotes and has two rear remotes. I'll show you in a second. The bucket's actually quite strong. I've been using it. I got a cab. I didn't want a cab. I've never had a cab tractor or drove one ever before. But you know what? I'm 50 years old and I am tired of numbum. Anybody that lives in a northern climate with an open station knows exactly what I'm talking about. The cab is actually quite roomy. The lights work awesome. They're super bright. Getting in and out is not too bad. I'll show you when I go climb in it. The two sets of rear remotes on the back. 3 points. Well, it's a typical 3-point hitch system. It's all mechanical. You can raise and lower the arms, of course, inside on the hydraulics, but you can do a little bit of fine finessing with these two arms here, and you can move them in and out if you move a pin that's back there on either side. Moves them in and out a little bit. Came with the tow hook. The only issue I hated is this goddamn guard. Excuse my language, but I can see me and a grinder can become the best of friends here one of these days, because trying to get the PTO on sometimes with that guard and you're climbing over the implements is a royal pain in the ass. Fuel tank's right there. Only burned over a quarter of a tank in 22 hours, and that's just puttering around, so I can't complain too much there. Yeah, I don't know. That filter there is going to be just a joy to get at. The loader will lift, they say, over 3,000 pounds. I lift round bales, 1,000-pound round bales. It lifts them like there's nothing to it. And I've had it maxed out right at the top. So no issues there. The loader arms are not the beefiest I've ever seen. Actually, far from it. So I don't know how much bulwark I'd try to put on them, but lifting, no issue. Got decent axles on it, which is always a big deal, what I think. And of course, lots of grease points on this tractor also. Gotta buy a new grease gun. Like I said, got the Doosan engine. Runs pretty smooth. I really wish though it had a handle up here. Climbing in, just grabbing the air in the mirror with size 13 boots. And I'm not exactly the most agile or skiddiest person in the world. Seat's not too bad. It's a little bouncy. This tractor is pretty basic. It is pure mechanical. Clutch, forward reverse, low, medium, high gears. 4 other gears to choose from. For my 3-point hitch, flow control. Yeah, it works out decent. 2 controls for my rear hydraulics. Switch for my 4-wheel drive. Works awesome. Flashing amber light. PTO engagement. Windshield washer. Wipers. Rear wiper. The back window opens up pretty good. And it stays up pretty good when I'm going up the fields. For the size of this tractor, it's actually pretty nimble, rather surprising. Loader control, it's up here. I know a lot of people like it like right about here. I don't know, I don't find anything wrong with it. Good visibility on the cab. Rear view mirrors are quite nice. They fit quite well. You can see quite well out of them. The only issue I have really is it's a cab, so it gets kind of hot. To switch the air conditioning over, you actually got to switch the valve over in the engine. Mind you, it doesn't get too hot where I live, so I'm not too worried about it. Sunscreen, I get more compliments on this sunscreen than I do anything outside of the pretty blue the tractor is. FYI, anybody who builds side-by-sides, if you're listening, this would be awesome for a side-by-side. Out of the way, and you can set it to wherever you want. One thing I like about good old-fashioned mechanical tractors, I gotta love Lovol. Has glow plugs. I've only started in like the coldest weather was -24, and after it sat for about a week, it started no problem. It's not too loud. No, make sure she's in neutral. Other tractor reviews I've seen, like on the 50 horsepower, they said that they found the gearbox quite clunky. This hasn't clunked once on me, or doesn't seem like it. It actually smooths pretty slick. I've seen a video, I think it was Northern Lights, guy up in Norway. He does, or Finland. I find his hydraulics are kind of jumpy. These ones here are actually pretty smooth. And like I said, I had a 1,000-pound bale right up max, which is probably not the smartest thing to do, but I was only playing. And yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. Like I said, you can see they're quite smooth going up and down. Radio inside actually works pretty good. The nearest radio station for me is 30 minutes away as the crow flies, and it picks it up no problem. I can lock the front bucket if I have to, front hydraulics. Right there. To lock the rear diff, just push on that pedal. 540 and 1,000 on the PTO shaft. The only thing I find with this thing, and I think it's just mostly because it's new, is that everything's kind of sticky. And the weather's been junk, so I haven't had much time to really spend time greasing and lubing everything like I want to. Hopefully, we're done with the snow. Hopefully. Like I said, the lights work really well. Almost lights it up like daylight in the middle of the night. The tractor goes quite fast. I never really clocked it, but it zooms along pretty good in high gear. But it does bounce a bit. Maybe some wheel weight. More weight in the wheel would help with that, but I don't go that fast any given time. For a big machine, it's quite nimble. I was kind of worried about it when I got it, but no, I can spin this thing around pretty darn easy. Outside of that, like I said, I'm quite happy with it so far, but again, it's still fairly new. Let me bring up the 1500. Like I said, it works pretty good. It's not too loud. I was worried about it being too loud. Brakes are good. Well, they stop it anyhow. Gas pedal. I always use the hand one anyhow more than the gas pedal. Clock there, except at nighttime it turns blue, can't see it. Blue doesn't work at night. Came with a toolbox, parts manual, which hopefully I never have to use. Box for pins. Heaven forbid it would have came with, a Lovol hat or a t-shirt, but anyhow, that's just me. That opens up, of course. But yeah, that's about it. As things go on, and once I do my first oil change and everything, I'll do some videos on that and tell you how easy it is. I'm sure it's going to be interesting the first time. But like I said, for 50 grand Canadian out the door, I know it's early, but it's working pretty good. Don't worry, I'm one of these guys that if I have troubles with it, I have no trouble telling anybody. I am not a brand loyalist. So again, Lovol 754. If you're not going to use it like heavy work, they seem quite popular over in Europe. But for what I do, moving bales, hauling wood, and plowing snow, it's been doing everything I asked of it. That's great. Thank you so much.